Welcome back to Garfinomics, the world's best and official, unofficial Garfield-based economics and politics podcast, where we do not forget what we're talking about, ever. This was all planned, and it's in the script that I gave the anthropology expert before we began. Also, I never introduced you. Welcome back to the show, Anthropology Expert.
Thank you. Glad to be back.
Yes, it is so nice. I've been having too much of the gaming sex pervert on.
He's so very high.
He does. He gets very high. I give him things, I don't tell him what they are, and then he gets very high.
I just wouldn't be able to make sense.
Here's the thing, though. I'm very confused about that one. I think it was Garf Kart 64, where he was kind of freaking out the whole time, to be honest. But I'm very confused because I distinctly remember handing him an edible and saying, "Hey, do you want an edible?" And him saying, "Sure," and popping it in his mouth. And then we start the podcast and he was like, "I'm feeling weird." And I'm like, "Yeah, that edible is kicking in." And he's like, "Edible?"
Oh, God.
Like, dude, what do you mean? Yes, I told you edible.
Oh, no.
I don't know if you just didn't hear me or what. Thought it was just like a gummy.
Oh, no. You don't accept random gummies from people without knowing.
If I'm handing you something, it's probably drugs.
Yeah, and say thank you.
And say thank you, by the way.
Yeah, say thank you for the drugs, sir.
Yeah, those are not cheap, my friend.
Yeah. I always got annoyed that they made it seem like that strangers would come give you heroin or meth.
Yeah,
it's expensive.
That's bullshit. Can you imagine being a drug dealer and being like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go give some free merchandise to some kids who don't even have
children who don't even have money."
It's just yeah, I'm just gonna give this free heroin to this 5-year-old. Nothing bad will happen to him, and he will be a returning customer.
Yeah, and
I am such a sound businessman. I'm a genius. Dare was very weird. Did they ever come to your school when you were a kid?
Oh, yeah. I still remember the little song that they taught us.
Wait a second. There's a song?
Yeah, it was I don't want to sing it. It's singing about dare, and they did DARE, and then they said things about each letter, don't do drugs.
Wow.
I remember one of them was, I think the A was don't have an attitude. I just thought it was really interesting when they would come and talk about it. I'd always be like, "Oh, but will it kill you?" I always was they'd be like, "Oh, it can do this and this." And I raise my hand. I'm like, "Will it do death?"
Yeah.
I was and the teacher would be like, "Yes, it can kill." And I was like, "Excellent."
Excellent.
I don't know.
Nice.
I was a weird kid.
No, that's fine. But no, you sound like a cool kid, man. All right. Well, yeah, let's talk about Jim Davis and politics, because you'd sent me something earlier that was hilarious and also cool as hell.
So I found this article because I was trying to find a way to relate Garfield to the recent Capitol Hill riots and stuff. I know you guys talked about it a bit last week, but I was trying to see if I could find anything connecting Garfield to conservatism. Because I know so many people see Garfield as a communist icon and stuff. I was wondering if anybody else sees Garfield the other way. So while trying to do this, I came upon an article about Jim Davis pretty much talking about how he specifically did not want to ever add politics to Garfield because it would age it. So it wouldn't be a timeless comic.
Oh, yeah.
And another thing was he said that he didn't want Garfield to be American, which I thought was really interesting because you'd think Garfield he seems so American. And Jim Davis said he originally wanted Garfield to be either Indian or Chinese. And I was just wow, I just was not expecting that.
That's badass.
When I was researching that stuff, I came across, I don't know if you saw this post. It was a post for Blackout Tuesday with the Black Lives Matter protests. And apparently it was the Garfield Eat. I think their Twitter. It was either their Twitter or Instagram. They posted a Blackout Tuesday thing, but I thought that was interesting considering Jim Davis didn't want to make Garfield political, and I was thinking like, oh well, how much like who was this who posted this on Garfield Eats? Like, is Jim Davis approve or disapprove? I was just curious. Like
Jim Davis, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry, buddy. You didn't want Garfield to be political, but guess
so
what?
Though.
He is.
He's so political.
He's a communist, non-binary icon for millions of Americans.
He's everything we want in the world.
Yes, he's the perfect being.
He is.
So I'm sorry, Jim Davis. I'm sorry, buddy, but
which I get it, but at least he doesn't seem to be super like, you know how some creators of like characters and stuff are super like they love to sue people or like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like that at least.
No, I don't think so. I think Jim Davis is honestly, from what I've like seen and heard and stuff and like interviews or whatever, he just seems like a pretty chill guy for the most part.
Yeah. Which I understand. He doesn't want to like divide his audience and stuff, but
yeah, no, it's crazy. Like was making this joke last time we talked about the riots.
No, you said her name.
Oh shit. Okay, I'll bleep that out. I'll bleep that out in post. The food expert was talking about last time about the riots and like how like John would be like dragging Garfield up there because like John fell in with like a bad Facebook group and like
yeah, I heard. Didn't she say that she thought that Garfield would like be in the Capitol Hill like eating all the food or no sleeping on Nancy Pelosi's desk?
Yeah, so I remembered that and I like did this like pretty crappy like Photoshop like job. Where like I took the image of the dude like reclining in Nancy Pelosi's chair, and I just like I put John's face on him, and then
Garfield right next to him.
Yeah, I had Garfield on the desk, like looking annoyed, and like we gotta go, John.
I feel like John would be like the guy in the wild man outfit.
You think
I don't even know what that was supposed to be.
You know what I learned about him?
What?
He's not even. Yeah, they're all rich.
Everybody, I said he's a bitch, but probably rich too.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I thought you said rich, but yes, he's both. He's a rich bitch.
Yeah,
that's what he is. So that guy. Now take this with a grain of salt because I might not be remembering this correctly, but I heard that like he's not even like really like a big like QAnon person or anything like that, and like he wasn't even really involved with like this movement.
Like a LARPer.
Yes, like quite literally.
My god.
He's just like a semi like good looking guy who decided to like grift like the QAnon community.
LARPing. I'm a racist today.
Yeah, exactly.
I also love the girl who got maced, who was like, they maced me.
Oh, she was a doll. She was amazing.
Yeah.
It's a revolution. I'm like, yes, queen, go off. It's a revolution.
Yeah. I just thought it was funny. They're like, they pushed me. Or like, and they're like, oh, you guys had like a very minimal amount of deaths too. Like,
I was going to say, they got off like easy.
Oh, yeah. If it had been anyone but them, it would have been a bloodbath.
Yeah, I think it would have been a massacre or a bloodbath if the people storming the Capitol, even if you like kept everything the same, like they were white, rich people or whatever, if they were like leftists or like socialists or communists or whatever, there would have been an absolute massacre. There would have been a bloodbath.
Well, also think about like the ideologies and political beliefs behind a lot of the people who are probably security guards or policemen. Like,
oh, it's shared. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, they're not going to go shoot their own.
No, it's like, man, if I wasn't.
Let them in. They didn't care.
No, they removed obstacles to entry. A lot of them did.
Oh, and when they were climbing up that wall.
Yeah.
I love the memes that are like walls. They show Trump saying that like walls work. And then it's got them all like spider climbing up the wall.
Yeah. They're not very they're not very consistent. I'll tell you that
Oh
much.
no. Oh, I mean, it's very obvious that like hypocrisy means nothing to them.
No, and I always get on like people's bad sides. Like I get into arguments with like dumb libs on Twitter and stuff who are like, "Oh, how about this, Mr. President? You said this, but actually it's like this. Don't you look dumb? What a hypocrite!" And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, you got him this time. He's gonna
Got
resign."
him.
He doesn't care. None of these people care. You're not gonna get them on hypocrisy.
I like would love to see the like different like psychological differences between like more like right leaning people compared to like more left leaning people. Like not well, might be more interesting to look at the more extreme sides.
I kind of feel like they're both just wildly empathetic because, like, think about it. The extreme left, like the communists, the anarchists, the syndicalists, those people, they want to take care of, you know, their fellow citizens. They want to take care of people and make sure that like society is fair for everybody and that, you know, there's not people, you know, basically freeloading at the top while people slave away at the bottom and
Or
like
people
live
who
in
are like
misery.
starving.
Yeah, exactly. Like people who are starving or living in misery. Like, so they're empathetic in that way. And then, but if you look at like the extreme right, like I suspect they're also like just as empathetic. It's just misplaced. Like, because think about it, like they're anti-abortion because like they literally think it's murder. They think you're killing people.
Yeah.
They think that you're like it's obviously like it's not murder, but like they think it is. And so like
Yeah. That's why they have such volatile like reactions to it.
exactly. And I think that they're confused. I think the far right is just extremely confused. It's people who are having trouble coming to terms with the fact that the system that has been ingrained in their heads and they've been told their entire lives is good, it's correct, communism bad, all this other stuff bad, capitalism good, free market, yay, yay, yay. And they've internalized this and they just cannot think anything different and they refuse to think
Yeah.
anything different. And so when there are negative consequences and like catastrophic end results of capitalism, they can't reconcile that. And so their brains kind of break. And I think that they can't come up with a logical excuse for why capitalism is failing because in their minds, capitalism is a perfect system.
Yeah,
So,
they're like, it can't fail.
exactly. So they have to create these
So they have to blame
wild,
someone.
yes. So they have to blame someone. So they come up with like wild conspiracy theories like, you know, Jews are evil and they run everything, or like, you know, Hollywood actors abort fetuses and drink their blood or something.
Pedophile sex rings.
Pedophile sex. Well, there are
Those are real.
Those
But
are
like
real.
I mean, I'm talking about like the Pizzagate one.
Yes, yes. The ridiculous ones are not real. But they have to come up with an explanation for why capitalism isn't working. So there's not a way to say that capitalism is perfect and then also see what's happening, seeing that capitalism is failing and being like, this checks out. It doesn't check out. So they have to invent these crazy like conspiracies and all this wild like mythical nonsense
Yeah.
to like justify why that's happening. And I don't know. I kind of feel like the far right is empathetic. It's just that they're brainwashed and their empathy is like misplaced on like I don't know, lies and
unborn
nonsense.
babies and stuff.
Unborn babies and mythical blood-sucking Jews.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
God.
you know?
Just the mental image there is just like, oh God.
Yeah, it's not a good one.
But then they also have so much hate.
They do, but think about this. Hate.
I know we do too, though.
Exactly. Like our hate is for like the, you know, the rich elite, you know?
Yeah, I can't say that we don't have hate. We definitely have a lot of hate too.
We definitely do. But that's the thing though, right? Like hate is a secondary emotion.
Yeah.
Like hate is not a thing. Hate is a reaction to an emotion you're feeling. And I
Yeah.
think that emotion might be like sadness or pain or being distraught or like feeling like something's really, really wrong, you know?
Yeah, it's like how, we can't have hate if there's not something that we love to make us hate.
Exactly. You love your family and you want to take care of them and you like live, I don't know, you live in like a town that's just struggling or something, and your family's not taken care of, and you're like, why aren't things as good as they were? And if you're a leftist, you say, well, it's because infinite growth is unsustainable. You will create monopolies and things will die and things will get worse as wealth gets concentrated. But if you grew up in a culture where you've been kind of brainwashed and fed this myth, let's just call it a myth, it is a myth, that capitalism is sustainable and that it's an infallible and perfect system, well, then the idea that you can't provide for your family anymore, you're not making as much money as you did like 20 years ago because of inflation and stuff like that, and your wages not rising with inflation. But you can't blame that on the system because in your mind the system is perfect. So you have to blame it on something. And I
Yeah,
think
they're like, well,
they're just
something's going wrong.
something's wrong. So they're like, oh, okay, I can't provide money. I can't provide for my children anymore like we used to. Things aren't as
The
good as they used
welfare. The libs on welfare.
to. It's welfare. It's the blacks. It's the Jews. It's something. It's reptilians. Whatever.
Yeah.
you know,
Nancy Pelosi.
It's Nancy Pelosi and her double eyelid skin, her lizard tongue. No, it's the fucking system. And
Honestly, I think lizard people sound awesome.
that does sound cool.
Like, it sounds awesome, but I just like lizards. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, would they shed or like, I don't know. I have questions for them if I ever find one.
I've got some reptilian questions.
Yeah, me too. I have things I want to learn. Be their friend. Although I like aliens too.
I do like it. Well, I'm terrified of aliens.
Oh, I am horribly terrified of them, but also
Yeah.
I'm very fascinated by them. I don't think they're as obsessive probing as people think, though. I think that's like not a, what's it called? Not an oral fixation.
An anal fixation.
That's right. Yeah. But yeah, like people, like they're just like, oh, like I don't know why, but I love shoving things in my butt. Like,
it brings me such joy.
yeah, like, oh. So they imagine like, oh, aliens are gonna do it to me. They get excited. Well, all the people who talk about it, they like they want to get probed and stuff.
They do. They like it.
They're like, they're ready.
They are.
They're prepped.
They're all lubed up.
Yeah, they're prepped for the probe.
Yep.
Oh God. How do we start talking about aliens probing?
I don't know.
That's okay. We're talking about politics.
It
we're
always
talking about conservatives and their crazy theories.
Yeah, like the left wing, they're like, oh, things are horribly wrong because of, the economic system, these people at the top who are getting away with all this stuff. And the right wing's like, oh, things are wrong because of black people and aliens,
Which I just can't fathom, like how someone could, I just don't get it. Like how people can be so racist. It just doesn't make sense to me. I'm glad I had a good family that wasn't racist and like raised me to like, be a normal, not racist person.
Yeah.
Now my extended family, I think most of them aren't racist, but also they still voted for Trump and stuff. So it's like,
yeah, that's kind of hard because like
it's a big like thing to unload.
It's a big correlation, honestly, dude.
Yeah.
Like you can't, like we can say like, oh, voting for Trump doesn't make you racist, and it's like, well, yeah, I mean, like voting for somebody doesn't make you racist, but like, I mean, let's be real. If you're voting for Trump, the likelihood of you being racist is like higher.
9 out of 10.
Yeah, it's like higher than average, much higher.
Yeah. Well, because he promotes like racist ideas and
Yeah.
You know?
He suggests racist things. So it's like if you're voting for him, I kind of assume that you're
okay with it.
You're like, oh yeah, I want these racist things.
Yeah.
So that kind of makes
oh, good, he's gonna ban Muslims.
Yeah, that kind of makes me wonder if maybe you're racist. You know?
Exactly. And they're like, no, it's the economy. And I'm like, bullshit.
No, if you cared about the economy, then you would be horrified that Trump gave like $1 trillion to like companies for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. These people don't give a shit about the economy.
Why would they trust someone who's been like bankrupt so many times too?
They don't care. I know. You can like pull out the facts and the logical arguments, but like at the end of the day,
they won't listen. There's no getting to them.
No,
that's the thing. I don't argue with people because I know it's not going to do anything.
No, I don't either, because it's not a place they've come to through like sound logic. So you're not going to be able to use logic to get them out of it because they're not there for logical reasons.
Yeah, I learned a long time ago that it's just not worth it. It'll just work you up and make you more upset. It
will. I honestly think the best thing to do is just ignore them. Just treat them like nerds, like the little nerds they are, and just, be like, that's nice, buddy. Pat them on their little red cap.
That's what I do. Like, oh yeah, good for you. Like,
yeah, dude, the aliens. Yeah. Okay, see ya.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, man.
I'm wondering if anything's going to happen on the 20th.
I think so. I heard something. Someone.
They're also known to be liars too, though.
Who?
The right.
Well, yeah.
Like they'll like they talk big, like how Trump is. He like promises all these big things.
Dude, I'm gonna miss Trump. Are you gonna miss Trump?
I'm not gonna miss him being president or actually having powers, but he was really funny.
He was extremely funny. Yeah, like, I'm not gonna miss his policies or anything, but I am gonna miss him.
I like watching him do dumb shit and laughing at him.
Yeah.
But then it would always make me sad. Like, it'd be funny, and I'd be like, "Oh, this guy has like the powers to our nukes." Like, like it's
which is also kind of funny.
Like, yeah.
I just think it's really funny that like these, I don't know. There's again with the hypocrite thing, but like the right, they're like obsessed with like, I don't know, testosterone filled like toxic masculinity. And then like they're like, I'm gonna go vote for this like big gay diva queen from New York. Like
yeah.
Trump is sassy,
He is.
He's
I think
so
he's got a
sassy.
lot of internalized homophobia.
I think so. I think he acts just like a toxic gay drag queen from New York.
Yeah, but he seems like I feel like he would like both genders though.
I think he's bisexual for sure.
Yeah, because I don't know, him like talking about his daughter and stuff like.
Yeah, I think he's a pedophile for sure. Allegedly.
Well,
allegedly walked into some locker rooms with some underage girls and checked them out.
Yeah.
Allegedly hung out with Jeffrey Epstein. With alleged photo evidence that you can allegedly Google and allegedly look at the photos yourself and allegedly see the proof that he definitely allegedly is a pedophile.
Yeah, we're not making any claims. Yeah, I think you're right. I think he's bi.
I think he's like a bi Gemini like diva.
Oh, he is a Gemini. I know that.
Is he really?
Yeah, he is.
Oh my God. It makes
so much sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, I just said that because he acts like a big dramatic like Gemini personality.
Two-faced, yeah.
Yeah. Welcome back to the Anti-Gemini podcast.
Yeah. I gotta find out what Garfield's sign is.
Do we know when Garfield was born? I feel like Garfield is ethereal.
Yeah, when he was not even born, when he ascended. So I guess wouldn't his birthday be like the first day of the comics?
It was the date of the Big Bang. That's when Garfield was born.
Let's see. I'm doing my research.
Please.
So it says his birthday is June 19th.
Interesting. Juneteenth.
Oh no, Garfield's a Gemini.
Wait, Garfield's a Gemini?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh no, and we just like...
It was a good run. We had a good
We just played ourselves
as a podcast. But now we are closing the doors at Garphonomics HQ. He's got all the right moons or whatever that makes him okay.
Yeah. I'll figure it out later. I'll do
we'll do the charts later.
We'll definitely be doing his chart.
We'll figure out why he's okay and other Geminis aren't later.
Yeah. We'll do a lot of we'll do his tarot and stuff too.
Yeah, I'm gonna break out the protractor.
I need a Garfield tarot set.
That would be badass.
Oh, I'll have to look. I don't know if they have the Garfield tarot, but I'll investigate for the podcast.
No, dude, you know what? We should have listeners like send in their questions for the Garfield tarot deck, and then we'll do an episode like kind of like a Q&A, but like we're just reading their tarot readings.
That would be so fun.
That would be cool as hell.
Yeah. I want some Garfield slippers.
Me too. That would be nice.
Yeah. I've been trying to get one of the plushes like the one that you have. The like I'm trying to remember the right years. The like, isn't it like the late like 70s, early 80s Garfield that's like that, the real cute, chubby one?
Yes, he's a big chubby boy.
Yes, that's the cutest version of Garfield. Easily my favorite.
Hands down.
Best Garfield.
I don't know why. Have you noticed that like things from like the 80s and the 90s, like cartoon characters were like much chubbier and cuter than they are now?
Yeah, or like how Pikachu was chubbier and then they made him like lose weight.
I will never recognize modern day Pikachu as Pikachu.
Yeah,
that is an abomination. Pikachu is actually black and white and a big chubby like freakish mouse looking thing. That yellow skinny fucker, like that's not Pikachu.
Yeah, that's like him after doing a bunch of meth.
Yeah,
he's got the speed running through his veins.
It's all the meth. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. I don't think Ash would be on anything. He seems kind of like a loser.
He's also 11 years old.
True.
You know.
I don't hate him or anything. I'm just saying, like, he just seems like a square.
Ash is,
He would not do drugs.
I don't know. I think Ash is fine, but like he's very intense and like kind of a square.
Oh, I like him. I just he's very cool.
No, he's definitely not cool.
Yeah, but like I don't mean that in a bad way. Just like he wouldn't be someone I'd want to go hang out with and like smoke with or something, you know?
No, because he'd be talking the whole time about like his upcoming gym battle or something.
Yeah, like he seems like he would just talk about himself.
He would. Wait, actually, you know which Pokemon guy is cool?
Who, Brock?
No, well, yes, Brock is cool.
He's kind of creepy too, though.
He gives me Johnny Bravo vibes.
Yeah.
You know, but Brock is cool, but he's also problematic at the same time. I'm going to let the listeners sort that out so I can't get canceled. And
yeah, he is kind of problematic.
He's a little problematic, but it's okay. He's endearing. He's loving. It was a different time. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, the actual cool Pokemon guy was Gold. Do you remember Gold?
Oh yeah, I would honestly love to hang out with Team Rocket though.
Team Rocket would be cool.
I love the drama,
the theatrics of it all,
and all the outfits.
Yes,
I feel like James and Jesse are Libras.
They very well could be,
or at least James, because he's all about like fashion and stuff.
You think James is gay?
Oh, I think he's bi. I think they're both bi.
Yeah, actually, James is bi.
I think they both are. I don't know.
You're right. I don't
think they're a couple though.
No, but I think that they have the potential.
Maybe they fucked and then they're like, oh no, this is kind of weird.
Yeah, this isn't working.
They tried, but
yeah, it didn't work out.
But then there's still like sexual tension.
There is a little bit of sexual tension.
Yeah.
The sexual tension between Meowth and Pikachu is electric. Anyways.
I love Meowth.
Wait, hold on. I was going to Google James and Jesse like birth sign. Here we go. Welcome back to the Astrology Podcast. Okay. James, a Libra.
Thank God.
See. I did. Jesse is an Aries.
Oh, I can see that. Aries are really energetic and like headstrong.
Jesse seems like slightly more grounded than James.
Yeah.
I don't know. They kind of go back and forth.
Well, Aries is a fire sign and Libra is an air sign.
Ooh.
So Libras are very like dreamy, like airy, like very idealistic instead of being realistic. And that makes sense because if think about all their like plots and plans, like they're not very grounded in like reality.
No, they don't. They do not have good plans, but I will say I do enjoy their like wacky ass contraptions.
Oh, me too. I love the balloon they fly in.
Oh yeah, that's badass.
Yeah, and they're like indestructible too.
I don't know how they're still alive. Yeah, they're immortal.
And Meowth too.
Yeah. They're ephemeral beings from another plane. They cannot be harmed.
They are, and I don't even think they're evil. I think they're just misguided.
Exactly.
They're like the right. This is how I'm bringing it back.
You bring it back. They are. They're misguided. They because
Meowth is an animal, so he's just kind of stuck in between.
Yeah. Okay. But Meowth is like intelligent. Something's going on.
Yeah. Meowth is way smarter than Pikachu.
Yeah, Pikachu's a fucking dumbass.
I was about to say he's really dumb.
Hold on real quick. I'm gonna let my dog back inside. She's like trying to get in here.
I forgot she was still out there.
I did too, but she just jumped out the window and she was like, "Let me in."
Oh no, that's okay.
1 sec. Okay, I'm back.
Welcome.
Thank you. I am having a great time being a guest on your podcast. It's been so good.
My astrology podcast.
Your astrology podcast. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, anytime.
Yeah, I would love to come on and talk about cartoon characters and their various traumas and zodiac signs.
I'm still really like upset that Garfield's a Gemini, especially
we'll recover.
Spewing her hate.
Yeah, no, it's okay. We'll figure out his moons and stuff. It'll be okay.
They knew what they were doing when he was born.
Exactly. Oh, look at that stardust! Right there you go. That's your problem right here.
I don't think he was ever a baby though. I don't think I ever remember them showing like a flashback to him being a baby.
Neither. Now I'm Googling. Okay.
I see pictures, but I think these are these fan art?
I think they're fan art.
They're really cute.
They're very cute. Except for this. Okay, except for that one.
Oh my god, do you see the one that's like Garfield and Sonic combined?
Yes. Oh yeah.
I'm saving that one.
That's going right in the folder. Right click, save as.
And then there's a bunch of plushies of the live action Garfield.
Oh yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I think all Garfield is good Garfield, and I will definitely use the live action Garfield for memes. But however, I will say I saw the live action Garfield movie when I was a kid. Did not like it. I was bored. I fell asleep. I didn't like it as a kid either. I would be down for like a rewatch of it though. Now as an adult, maybe we should get like a watch party or something.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Now I'm looking at Garfield plushes on like eBay.
Oh no, it's a trap. Close that tab right away.
But I want one of the prime Garfield. The chub.
Yes, the big chubster.
I want one of the Garfield phones too, even though I wouldn't use it.
Same.
I just want one.
It's just the aesthetic.
Yeah. I think I talked about it before. I don't see many things thrifting that are Garfield.
I don't either. I think they started getting like all bought up because of memes.
I think so. And it makes me sad because I've always really loved Garfield. I'm not trying to be one of those people like, oh, well, and everyone likes it now. Like, no, that's fine and all, but it sucks when you really like something and it gets popular and then it's just hard to get a hold of.
Yeah. Little known indie comic, you've never heard of it, Garfield.
Oh, well, no, I know everyone's heard of it.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like once people like past the age of like 10, like they like forget about Garfield. I never forgot.
Oh, yeah.
We never forgot.
Yeah, okay. I have to come clean. I did forget.
You did?
I forgot. Okay, to be honest with you, dude, I completely forgot Garfield was a thing until I saw a bunch of like I saw like a weird like anarchist Garfield account or like Garfield collapse like nihilist account or something on Twitter. And then I went into like a spiral of like finding all these like crazy Garfield accounts. And then I went to bed and then I woke up at 3 a.m. and I couldn't get back to sleep. I woke up feverish and
Oh my God.
I had the thought I have to start a Garfield based economics and politics podcast.
I love it.
I have
But
to.
like I don't think badly on when people like get into something. It's like I get why people get into like popular like media or like characters. Like it makes sense. It just sucks when you want to buy something and other people buy it. That's all I mean.
Do you ever like go to a thrift store and you see like a person your age at the thrift store too? And you're like, okay, now it's a race to find the cool stuff.
Yes, actually.
Yeah.
But also I gauge what they're wearing. If they just look like a regular like person, but if they look like somewhat alternative, I'm like, fuck.
Yep. It's over.
But I'm like a very experienced thrifter, so I know how to look through things really fast. I know exactly what I'm looking for. Mm-hmm. Plus, I wear all black, so that really helps.
That does narrow it down.
Oh yeah, I've been trying to like thrift these like 1970s like mushroom kitchen things that I've always wanted, and like now everyone wants them and knows about them, and I'm like, damn it, like, which is like I get it. Yeah, mushrooms are cool. I get it, but it's like,
yeah,
I wanted them.
I wanted those.
I wanted them. Yeah. I've noticed that's been happening with frogs lately too.
Frogs and monkeys.
I haven't noticed monkeys as much, but frogs, yes. And I've always liked frogs too. I've always liked every animal though, to be honest.
Yeah, I've always been a bit of an animal lover. Well, I don't have any more topics, and we're going on almost 2 hours now.
I was about to say, like, I don't think we have anything more for the podcast.
No, now we're just kind of like talking. Yeah. I don't know. Is there anything you want to say to the listeners before we end it?
Send in your questions for tarot, I guess.
Yes, listeners, DM me, tweet at me at Garfinomics on Twitter, or just I'm all over the social media stuff. Find me. You can find me and send a question that you want answered via Garfield Tarot.
I don't have a Garfield deck.
We're working on the deck. Maybe if y'all pitched in a little bit more on the Patreon, we could afford decks.
I don't know if it exists yet, but I'm gonna look.
Yeah.
I'll imagine it like looking like super trippy and stuff. Oh, I'm thinking of it looking like Garfield on acid.
Oh hell yeah! Maybe we can get some custom made.
That would be so cool. It could be like for the podcast.
For the podcast, Garfinomics only.
Oh, an exclusive.
An exclusive.
Oh, now these are the right ideas.
These are the right ideas. I'm thinking of more crafty ways for people to give me money on the Patreon. So this coffee doesn't pay for itself.
Yeah. You should do one of the, well, you have the Patreon. I was going to say, there's also that thing that's called Ko-fi, coffee. The thing where it's like, buy me a coffee. Have you seen that?
I think I've seen, this sounds familiar,
it
but I
died out.
Oh, okay.
A few years ago, people did it a lot.
I feel like I vaguely remember this, but yeah, I haven't seen anything about it recently.
I think Patreon is way better.
Yeah, I mean, we already have a couple of patrons on the Patreon, which is nice.
Awesome. You should, I think it would be really cool if you were able to like, obviously, like, I don't know how expensive it is to do this, but like make your own Garfield stickers.
Oh, that would be badass.
Like podcast stickers.
Yes.
The expensive part is getting the sticker making machine.
Mm-hmm.
But you can like do things where you get an image, you can just like print it, and then it'll like laminate it for the sticker.
Oh, hell yeah.
That would be something cool for the Patreon.
That would be, you know what? We actually,
exclusive stickers.
Exclusive stickers. Yes. We actually know somebody who owns a print shop and they do stickers. So.
Oh, excellent. And then you could even use the art that you have for the podcast already.
Oh, yes.
That would look so good as a sticker.
That would be a badass sticker.
Yeah.
Like, it would just have like a little like social media link on the side or something.
Yeah. And if more people donated, then we could commission more. I know I say we. I know it's your podcast.
No, it's our podcast. We're all in this together. This is everybody's podcast.
But you could commission different like images and stuff for stickers.
That's a good idea.
Original art.
That is badass.
Like specific like pictures and stuff that relate to the podcast. Like Garfield with like a chart. It's got like the arrow,
an astrology chart. Where it like stocks are up too. Yeah.
But the astrology one, like there's so many opportunities.
Wow. Resident business consultant expert.
I've got a lot of fields under my belt.
Yeah. What a talent. Okay. I gotta end this. We are 2 hours now. I keep getting you're sidetracking me. You're keeping
It's okay. You can cut some of the random stuff for the Patreon.
No, I'm not cutting any of this. This is our first ever 2-hour episode.
Excellent. Well, yeah. I thought you were going to cut like the dead air and stuff.
No, I definitely am. That was a joke.
Okay. And bleep the names. I think you might have used her name twice.
Oh, shit. Okay. I will bleep names. I will listen back carefully for names.
Yeah. Because we don't want the people to know who we are. It keeps the mystery.
It keeps the magic alive. Like, if you find out my real name is blank, like, it's not going to be the same.
Yeah, our names are disappointing. They're not as, like, cool as, like, something like Garfield.
No, they're not.
They're not bad names. They're just not as, like, magical.
They're just, they don't have the spark. And I don't want you learning our real names because then, boom, the Garfinomics spark is gone. Yeah. And then you're never going to hear the comforting, soothing voice of your Uncle Garfinomics ever again, at least not in the same way.
Yeah. You'd have to go under another alias.
Exactly. I'd have to start over with a whole new podcast.
Yeah, you'd be like, Garfield Politics. I mean, although, to be fair, this podcast is very much politics.
It is. I'd have to start a Sonic the Hedgehog podcast if that were to.
Which, honestly,
that would be kind of badass.
I also used to draw. Well, I'm just going to get us sidetracked again.
Okay. No, we have to end this. All right.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to your favorite #1 official, unofficial Garfield-based economics and politics podcast. I have been your host, Garfinomics. Joining me today has been our very special guest, returning guest, Anthropology Expert. It's been a pleasure having you on today.
Thank you. I've had a great time, and I'll be back.
Fantastic. As will I. All right. See you guys next time.